All right, my American foreign friends, how are y'all today?
We're chilling. How are you, Ninja?
I'm doing good. Pro Wrestling Noah YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We've got a bunch of questions. We've got some topics to go over today. How have you liked your stay in Japan? This is my second time. This is your first time here. Mr. Green.
The culture is incredible here. The people are so respectful. The fans are so respectful. The food is incredible. If I could stay here forever, I think I would.
It's a good choice.
100%. This is the most clean, courteous, respectful country that I've ever been to in my entire life. And I know for a fact the day that we have to leave is going to be one of the most depressed days of my entire life, because this is heaven on earth. Like, literally, the wrestling, the people, just, oh.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. Heaven on earth, dream come true, actually being here. Just the people and the culture, like you said, different, but
It makes
so
you not
amazing.
like America.
Now, like I said, this is my second time here. This is y'all's first time here. I was very fascinated by the Japanese culture, just like y'all. But within my first stint of staying, I had to stay in Tokyo, and I didn't get the pleasure to stay in Saitama, where the dojo is actually located at. So Pro Wrestling Noah's dojo, as y'all got to stay here, and you had access to the dojo and access to the gym to come train, and we actually get to see how the young boys get to train. We were able to train with some of the top stars that come through, like Maru Fuji. What are your thoughts, Dante, on the dojo, the environment, the way they train here compared to the American culture of training?
So the training here is probably the top in the world that I've seen. These dudes are, all of them are going to be stars. Just the way they train every single day. It is amazing. And just from my time here and the short amount of time I've had to train, these few weeks, I have grown way more than I have in the last 2-3 years in America.
I can honestly say I've trained with Ring of Honor, I've trained with New Japan, I've trained with Evolve, I've trained with WWE. Pro Wrestling Noah is absolutely the hardest working bunch of guys, the best training that I've ever had in my entire life. And I can safely say that any member of the Pro Wrestling roster, or Pro Wrestling Noah roster, could main event anywhere in the world.
I think he said it best. Like, the toughest training that I've done is definitely in this room, this building right here. And as he said, just between the guys that main event on the shows in Pro Wrestling Noah, to the guys you see in the opening contest, to even the young boys that are training out once they're ready, you could bring them over to the United States, put them in the opening match, or put them in the main event, and they're going to absolutely kill it and prosper.
Of course, that's why Pro Wrestling Noah is going to be #1 in Japan. So, tuning into the dojo, a very sacred place and being able to work out. What are your thoughts on your first tour? Having high-level opponents, having some good wins under you this trip, your matches. Any thoughts on the matches they lined you up with and the people you had to face and go against?
So if I could start,
Please.
we got here on July 9th, and with less than 12-hour notice, we were on our way to Mount Fuji, and we ended up making our debuts. And the view from the venue was already cool. Making our debut in Japan was incredible. And then 1 week later, we got to wrestle at Nippon Budokan, one of the most legendary venues in the entire world.
Oh, famous, very famous.
Dude, for me especially, on the bus rides, every one of them that we've taken, I'm always so tired, but I can't sleep because I can't stop looking out the window. I can't stop taking in the country and the views and how beautiful it is. It's literally like a Studio Ghibli movie. It's amazing. Like, everything is so beautiful here. And not to mention the wrestling. The best wrestling on the planet, bar none. The fact that we got to debut together with less than 12 hours notice, and here we are still in Japan, speaks volumes. Like, it's a fairy tale just about. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's just, I'm in love with this place.
And then even in my first stint, they gave me the opportunity to go against their young ace. And even though I was not able to come away with the win that time, you can't win every bit. Just the experience in the ring to get wins, to get losses at Pro Wrestling Noah. Dante, going back to the States, how is that going to help you advance your career? Are you going to be much better when you go back?
100%. I mean, for like, whether it's teaming with Yohei, I learned like a lot more with tags, and even wrestling against Alejandro like last week. Just he's lucha libre, but it's a different style of lucha libre. It's the Noah Japan style, and just from that alone, these last few weeks, honestly, I'm kind of ready to go back to America just to show everyone exactly what I learned here in Noah.
Going back to the States, it's just, they don't compare. And I want pro wrestling in general, not just in Japan, but the entire world to flourish. And if everybody works as hard as the people in Pro Wrestling Noah works, it's going to do just that.
And they don't give up. There's no break.
There's no
break.
No giving
Keep
up.
going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Finish up. Do it. And they do. They push through
They
10
have
times out
heart.
of 10.
Now, not to give away the Pro Wrestling Noah training at the dojo, but is there a little insight we can give to the people that are watching and subscribing to Pro Wrestling Noah on YouTube? A little insight. We don't want to give away the secrets to Pro Wrestling Noah's dojo, but a little insight to the followers.
And that can't be taught. That's heart, that's fire.
And
And
you said every day, not just 2 times a day.
every day.
3 times a day,
Just constant. There's always somebody in here busting their ass. And it's Pro Wrestling Noah is the bar for pro wrestling. And everybody needs to strive to reach that bar. So that's how I feel.
Any forward opponent you look at, or any matchup you're looking for to have that we would like to reach out and maybe we can garner interest from, or a dream opponent.
Whether it's a 6-man or a tag or singles, hopefully eventually, I would just like to just learn from Mayor Fuji. Just like even I'm going to just learn one or 2 things. All these trips will be worth it.
100%. Marufuji, Go Shiozaki, Hatsuko Nakajima, like all the top guys. Of course, I'm a lot smaller, but I want to get in there and learn from them. But I have my eyes on HAYATA right now. He's got the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship, and I can't stop focusing. So it's like,
I have a long list of dream opponents, and honestly, I'm lucky enough to either have wrestled them or am going to wrestle them. But the one name that's not on the list of people I'm going to be getting in the ring against would be Marufuji. So I think he's my favorite. He's my favorite of all time.
That's not a bad dream opponent to have. Shout out to Mr. Marufuji. Now, we're actually able to be here during someone's final run. Yeah, we're here during someone's final run. It's a very legendary run. What are your thoughts?
it's a prestigious honor. The fact that we are even in the same building, let alone the same company, getting to wrestle in the same ring as Muta? Like, what the?
I was afraid to say the name only because it's such a legendary status watching pro wrestling Noah. But to be here on his last run, his final matches, and being able to see that much of a legendary status in the ring, still be able to go on a high level. Thoughts on me?
The great.
So for me, 10 years ago, when I was a young referee, Anthony Green, I actually reffed on a card where Great Buddha main evented in New Jersey. So that was pretty cool. And then 10 years later, to be wrestling on the same show as him, and even sneak a picture with him. Hey. Check it out on my social media at alternative_AG. When I was young, before I even understood wrestling or even liked it, just took a glimpse of Muda and I was like, whoa, what is that? Literally, like the pain, the mist, I was like, I think I want to do that for my life. Sneaking out into the crowd and just trying to watch as much as I can and learn as much as I can, especially it being his final run. It was amazing.
He's an inspiration.
Inspiration, very legendary status. Shout out to the great Muda. As you can tell, he was very influential, just like Marufuji, very influential even to foreign talent, not just Japanese talent. So as we're getting ready to wrap this up, obviously you can always go subscribe to Pro Wrestling Noah's YouTube page, or their Twitter, or their Instagram, or their Facebook, or their TikTok. Every time you subscribe, it always helps. Now, what do you have any final words you would like to say before we start wrapping up the YouTube show?
Any final words? Man, right now I'm just focused on winning the N-1 victory.
Okay.
And I think from there I'm going to be a regular in Pro Wrestling Noah and show the world and show Japan that I belong here.
It was truly one of the highest honors of my life to even be here at Noah. You saw a few tricks this time, but next time I'm here, get ready to see what else I have underneath my sleeves.
I want to show these guys that I love this company, that I love this country, that I love these people. I love Pro Wrestling Noah. And someday, you're gonna see me on the poster. Next to you, next to you, next to you. That's the thought process that I have. I'm not just here to be here. I'm here to stay.
Well, Pro Wrestling Noah's talent, we appreciate you for being here. And if you haven't done so already, please go subscribe to Pro Wrestling Noah's YouTube page.
As well as Pro Wrestling Universe.
That's it. 900 yen, just 900 a month. That's all. 2 weeks free.